see the trickle-down effect? My question is simple. From your constituency, from Madhya Pradesh to the villages where you campaign, to the poorest of the poor, is there a trickle-down effect? Because my concern is whether this Limitless India is only limited to urban centers of prosperity. So how do we address that issue? How long will that trickle-down effect take to actually seep into the soil of this country?
Very good question, Arnab. And let me tell you, when I talk about us as Indians, I'm not talking about those of us who are seated here in Bharat Mandapam alone. I'm talking about every single Indian from Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Bharuch in Gujarat, till where the sun blesses us on our soil, the first ray of the sun in Arunachal Pradesh. Every single Indian today, and I represent a rural constituency, every single Indian today wants to be an employer and not an employee. And that speaks of our entrepreneurial capability. And let me give you an example of that. I was in a district in Madhya Pradesh and I met with a bunch of SAGs, this is about a year ago, self-help groups, women self-help groups. And one of the ladies who I met, I spoke to her and I said, how did you start? And she said, you know, only my husband would earn in my family. So I said, let me buy a couple of cows and let me start a dairy business. And she said, I started this dairy business and I had 2 cows and there were 4 of us women from that village. And today, which is 2.5 years later, she has grown that SAG from 4 women. Okay, let me take a dipstick view here. To how many women do you think? Anyone has a guess? 300. Okay, so I got one number 300 here. Anyone else? 1,000. Okay, we got 1,000 here. Anyone else? 5,000. She's grown it to 10,000 women.
Oh, huge. Incredible. That's ambition. That's ambition. That's drive.
Another woman, she said, I became an agent for an insurance company. And I started doing so well. My husband had a dream of always owning his own car, but we didn't have enough income. And she said, I earned so much money because I became one of the best-selling insurance agents for that company.
Yeah.
She said, after working like this for 2.5 years, I bought my husband his first car.
That's amazing.
It's a sense of pride. And that's where India is going. It's not Bengaluru, it's not Chennai, it's not Kolkata, it's not Bombay, it's not Delhi. It's across the length and breadth of our country. And having been an investment banker, Arnab, you look at the top 200 companies on the BSE Sensex, and you may think that they are headquartered in Mumbai and Delhi and Bengaluru and all of that. And then if you look at the top 500 companies in the BSE, they all, in terms of market cap, they all come from tier 2 cities. They all come from smaller towns.
Small towns.
They don't come from the top 5 metros.
First generation.
First generation.
First generation.
And every 10 years, and you and I have seen this, this never happened in, again, our growing years.
Our lifetime.
But today, every 10 years, when you go to an award ceremony, and the business leaders are getting awarded, every 10 years, you'll see a change. The guys who got awarded 10 years ago are no longer there. It's the new guys who are there.
Yep.
So I remember Andy Grove's, I was fortunate to be taught by Andy Grove, one of the founders of Intel at Stanford Business School. And he, in his last class, his class was always the 9 a.m. class. So we always had to be there 5 minutes early. In the last class like this, we were all sitting in the auditorium, and he said, I have nothing to say to you guys. I wish you guys all the best. I only left 4 words on and we have those desks, those whiteboards which go one above the other, so you can hide something behind it. As he said, I've left 4 words behind. After I leave this auditorium, just go and check out what it is. And for those of you, it'll be useful for you in any walk of life that you choose to be in. And he walked out of the auditorium. So we scampered up and we said, let's check this out. What is he written? And we put down the board and there were 4 words there. And those 4 words were, only the paranoid survive. So be paranoid. Thank you.
It's beautiful. Thank you, Jyotiraditya. And one last thing about him, people say what kind of people should come into politics? And one very interesting facet about you I learned right now. He walked in, I said, which gate is Mr. Scindia coming from? This gate, that gate, we couldn't find you. And then eventually somebody said that, see, this man is strange. He's a union cabinet minister. He doesn't have a PSO. He doesn't have security. He doesn't have an escort car. He doesn't have 5 people around him. I said, what does he do? He said, just comes in his car, walks in, and he's signing files all the way. So I think, when people tell me that in the UK, you sometimes find a big minister in a subway, right? We're happy about that, right? He's one of us. So we're happy about that. You're a good man in politics. I wish you luck. And may you contribute everything to your potential for a limitless India, which you will, Mr. Scindia. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Scindia, for your powerful vision and unwavering commitment to